Hi guys, this is Tara with Gaia Tarot 13, and this is your monthly angel card forecast for September 2016. I am out in Cannon Beach, Oregon, in this cool little hut that was built of some driftwood, so we've got some of that driftwood around me here in the scene, and of course the beautiful beach and the Pacific Ocean behind me. So, this month, I am using my brand new Butterfly Oracle cards, which I totally love. Get it here, by Doreen Virtue. And as always, with the monthlies, I'm going to pull 5 cards. One is for week 1, first 4 weeks, sorry. The first 4 weeks of the month, and then the 5th card is an overview of the energy of the entire month. And we've got 2 more cards to go here. Wait for the overview card. Sometimes it takes a little while, guys. There we go. Okay, so the first week of September we have healthcare change. Okay, so there might be something that is going on in your specific health this month, or it could be the health of a loved one or someone that you are close with. This does not have to mean that it is something bad. It's not like, oh, healthcare change, my loved one is going to be diagnosed with cancer. Like, it could be good news. You could find out that, keeping on that example, that if they have cancer or they have something going on, that it's now in remission, or that they're getting better in some way. So it doesn't have to be something that's bad, and it doesn't have to be something that has to do with you. So, of course it could be either of those things, but just don't automatically go there, and don't just take it to that place. Like, oh no, something horrible is going to happen to my health in September. No, it could be someone around you, and it could be that they're getting better, but there is going to be some sort of change in the health of someone who is close to you or yourself specifically. So just be aware of that. I'm not trying to instill fear. I just want you guys to know what the cards are saying, because if you know what's going on, then you can kind of prepare for it in a not anxiety creating way. Don't get all worried about it if you're watching this on the August end. Don't spend the rest of August freaking out about what's going to happen in September. Just know okay, I'm going to keep an eye on that. So if you are not feeling great, don't ignore it. Go to the doctor, or just don't take any chances or any risks. Or if a friend is saying that they're having problems, encourage them to go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Something like that. So don't get panicky or anxiety stricken. Just be aware, keep an eye open. Second week, you are stronger than you know. Wish I could it's kind of hard to see them. I know I'm in a shadowy place. Sorry. You are stronger than you know. So whatever you've got going on here, it's gonna freak you out a little bit. After I just gave a disclaimer about not being freaked out about it, it's gonna freak you out a little bit. But just try to go back to that reserve of you can get through it. If it's you, if it's someone you love, know that you can get through it, because the universe doesn't put things in your path to try and trample over you. The point is to give you little hurdles to make you grow and to make you stronger, and to make you a better person, and get to wherever you need to be on your path. And sometimes those hurdles are little, and sometimes those hurdles are big. And if you've been over a big hurdle, then you know that it's true that you're stronger than you know. You are faced with something, and you're I don't know how I'm ever going to get through this. But you did. You did, because you're here. So obviously it was, not fun. It was a challenge. It was not something that you wanted to do, probably, but you did it, you had to, and you got through it because you have to, and it makes you stronger. And every single time you deal with something like that, it makes you increasingly stronger. So by this time, I mean, I'm sure you are stronger than you know, because all of those little things and big things that you've been going through have added up and made you this amazing, beautiful, strong person that you are today. So whatever it is that comes up this first week in September, you can handle it. This is the universe telling you, you can handle it. Week 3, we have healing from the past. So, and yes, this could very much be about separate situations. An ex comes back into your life that, you need to resolve an issue with them and kind of heal it and work through it so you can move forward. But I'm still getting a tie to this health thing. So it could very well be for a majority of you that this, whatever's going on with this health situation, regardless of who it's affecting, it could trigger something. So just as an example, if you find out, and I know this is going to be an extreme example, it's just an example. If you find out that, you have cancer, some sort of cancer, and it could trigger you like, oh, well, my grandmother had that cancer, or my, parent, sibling, relative, whatever, had that cancer. And so finding out this first week that that's what's going on with you, down here by the 3rd week, it could be that that's triggering, like maybe the first week you've learned the information, the 2nd week you're kind of processing it, and you're like, okay, I can handle this. And then the 3rd week you flip back and you're like, oh my God, like I watched my grandmother go through that, and I know what it was like for her, and I know what had happened with her, and now I have to, I'm going to be going through all that same kind of thing. And I mean, that's a very normal, natural reaction and mental processes to have. And so it makes perfect sense that that's going to be triggered. But this is saying you need to heal that. Whatever triggers come up from this information you get that first week, you need to heal that, because if you saw it happen before to another family member, that doesn't mean that that's going to be your experience. Or, if they passed away from it, that doesn't mean that you are automatically going to have the same fate. So, healing from the past. Just be aware of triggers, be aware of how you are associating your situation to whatever you saw previously go on with someone else. That's what I'm getting from the majority of people is triggers. Whatever this information from the first week is, by the 3rd week, it's gonna trigger you to an association. It doesn't have to necessarily even be with a family member. It could be, a celebrity or something you saw on TV. Like, oh, I know that person had that. Don't go there. Don't go there with the trigger. Again, for some of you, it could be something much, much smaller and totally unrelated to these first cards. Like, an ex coming back and you needing to resolve that, or a past life trauma, or a family member coming back and triggering something that you need to work on healing. So it could be something just like that for some of you as well. In the 4th week, we have realizations and epiphanies. This is beautiful. This makes me so happy, because I laid them out face down, and so I had no idea what this card was, and I was like, just kind of thinking to myself, like, oh great, I'm giving everyone this, like, not so great news. What's this 4th card gonna be? But it's saying all of this is coming for a purpose, like it's coming to an end, and I don't mean an end like a finality. It's coming like to a realization, to an epiphany. You're supposed to be learning something from this healing. This thing was brought into your life to make you grow, to make you heal, and to have a realization so you can have a new baseline and move forward from here. Just like all of those other hurdles I was just talking about, all of those other hurdles have done this exact same thing in this exact same way. They just might be with a different topic. So, when you're in high school and you have like your first boyfriend or girlfriend, and I'm sure that you in your adult years are not with I assume if you are, good on you. But I assume you're not in your adult years with that same first boyfriend or girlfriend. And I'm sure that when that first, your first love and you broke up, it was like the end of the world. And now in your adult years, like, okay, it wasn't the end of the world, whatever. But at the time, it was that same very real feeling and that very real process. You have a triggering event, something happens, you have to be strong about it, you have to heal through it, and then you have a realization and you move forward. And you've had a series of those in your life. And this is one more of those series. So whatever sort of information you're getting here, by the 4th week, you're going to have growth, some very real, knowledge and information. And okay, you might not be like, all right, I now in 4 weeks happen to know, why this happened. Sometimes it takes a whole lot longer than that. So, don't have that expectation of yourself, but at least you'll have a realization of some sort. And it may be related to this healing. It may be like, all right, well, yes, I have the same health problem that one of my family members had, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to have the same experience that they did. And that very firmly settles in by this 4th week. You have that realization, that understanding, and no, I don't have to have that fate. Just because I saw that happen doesn't mean that that's going to happen to me. And then you have your new baseline. So it's not that necessarily this whole thing is going to be resolved in a month. It's just that you have processed it. You've worked through it. You've realized you can do it. You've healed whatever sort of associations you have. And you've had this realization, and you can now move forward into either fixing it or going through the process, or whatever needs to happen. So I mean, and again, I know I'm using some pretty strong examples with cancer and with some major things, but as I started this, in looking at this first card, as I started the video, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be someone getting better. It could be like a health change for better. And you're like, yeah, 2nd week, you're stronger than I beat that. I had this thing. The healthcare change is that it's better or gone or whatever, and I beat that. I'm stronger than I know. I beat it. And you can heal it. Yeah, it was kind of, sucky that I had to go through it, but it's okay. I've processed it, and I know, all right, that's great. I'm strong. I took care of it. I'm ready to move forward, So please don't get caught up in the example that I'm giving. I know it's kind of drastic. It does not have to be something bad, but this process is going to be the same. Regardless of what that information is, this process is going to be the same. So that's what we've got going on for this week. Let me get you the overview card here. It is motivation. The overview is motivation. And this means, keep in mind, while this is going on, this whole month, know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? That's like the umbrella. Regardless of all the stuff that you've got going on, try to keep in mind, your family, your loved ones, whatever it is that is the driving force, your motivating factor, the reason you do all the things that you do. Keep that in mind, because that's what's going to keep pushing you forward as you process this. It's very, very possible that somewhere here in the middle of the month, that this 2nd week and this 3rd week, you're going to have some hard times coping with all this. Focus on this. Focus on the motivation. Focus on the reason you need to push through all of this stuff. Okay? It's your family members, it's your friends, it's your loved ones, it's yourself. That's very important. Sometimes we just do things for ourselves. And that's okay. It's not selfish. So try to hang on to what your motivating factor is, because it's going to be kind of a hard month this month. You're going to get some major news. You're going to have to go through the process. So keep in mind why you do what you do. I know, guys. I'm right here with you. It's going to be intense. It's going to be fun. I think we've got some eclipses during the month of September, so that's going to heighten energy. I'll be here on the weeklies. I'll be able to help you, explain and give more detail on what's going on, and hopefully see what part of your life it's going to be showing up in. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I know this is a little bit longer of a video, but there's a lot of intense stuff here. Major big messages, and I'm not going to shortchange you by trying to rush through a video. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube page. If you want to get a personal reading with me, the only way to do so is through my website, which is GaiaTarot13.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will be here every week with you, doing this, going through it every day. Be sure to follow me on the dailies, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. That'll help expand all of this too. Thanks so much, guys, and we will see you next time.